All right, hey, it's Mike here with MakeOnce.com, and in this video, I want to share with you what I found out about putting together an email automation sequence right after somebody opts in, what to always include, how I space out the videos, and what's actually made it work very effectively. So I'm just going to go through this quickly, and if you have any questions, you can put them down in the comments. But this is what I've been doing. It's been working very well, and I think you could probably adopt this as well. Now, these different things can be switched around however which way you want, but they somehow get included. And on these email automations here, I'm going to share with you how I space them out and kind of the logic in between each of the emails. So in every one of these emails, one thing that I always include is urgency, and I've got a little clock here because when you think about urgency, you got to ask yourself, what can I do to make the time seem like it's going to be almost up, or it's not going to be around very much longer, or I'm not sure how long this can be. And it's nothing where we're being fake about it. It's just how much time are you going to put this out there for? How much time are there going to be the bonuses available? How much time are you going to allot X, Y, or Z? And then scarcity is quantity. So how many people can you actually handle? I was talking to a guy and he goes, well, we could take a ton of people. And I said, okay, if I brought you 100 new customers right now, could you handle it? Well, probably not. I said, so there is a real scarcity number, so we've got to find that, and we just employ it, and we tell them, here's how much time we have left, here's how many seats we can afford to work with, etc., etc., and we always say, why? Then, so you can. So in everything that we always do, it's like, we do it this way, or it's done this way, or here's why we do it, and we do it because of this, so you can blank. Okay? Or we do it this way so you can boom, and here's why. Or here's why we do this so you can, okay? So you always want to do that. And then it's always how I. Just always share how you did it. If you're showing somebody how something works, or if you created something to give to somebody that's going to solve their problem, you could probably share how I did X, Y, Z. So we always want to include these things right here. So whenever I talk about these, understand that we always include urgency, scarcity, so you can, boom, and then how I, okay? Instead of do this, or, go do this, or you should be doing this. You don't need to do that. Just here's how I did it. Just like I'm sharing with you right now. This is how I do it. I'm just showing you what works for us. So we're running traffic out there. That's these arrows, okay? We're running traffic on social media, paid or organic content. And we're driving them to an opt-in page where I like to give away a free training course. Instead of giving away the free secret or the free whatever, and then if you buy my thing, you'll get the rest of it, I just like to give a free course. And in that free course, you basically just help them and show them that you actually know how to help them by actually helping them. And then if they want to work with you, maybe they need help implementing, or maybe they want to go up another level with something, then we'll sell them that, and we'll make that offer at the end of that course or all throughout the course. But a free course, and you could do a free course if you sold piles of sand. You could make a free course about how you get the sand and why you do the sand the way you do it and how the whole thing comes together. There's always a way to demonstrate and share what it is that you do in some sort of course format. You could show them how to utilize the sand when they got it. And I know I'm kind of being strange talking about something like piles of sand, like, they call you up, I need 2 tons of sand. Well, what kind of course would I do over that? Hey, here's a free course. If you're about ready to go buy sand for X, Y, Z, or if you're doing this type of thing, here's the way we would do it so that you would have the best opportunity when you get the sand. Or in other words, some people do it like Joe Polish used to talk about. He did a free course where he would show you how to get carpet cleaning without losing your shirt or without getting screwed over. If you're going to pick a new carpet cleaning person, here's the 10 things that you need to learn about buying a carpet cleaner. Okay, so you could always educate them with a free course on how to buy your thing, or how to not get taken by the people that aren't as good as you, or whatever. You can always teach them how to get the best opportunity, the best benefit, the best outcome buying what it is that you're selling. So anytime that you can, try to offer a free course as an opt-in. It's an incredible way to do that because you're putting your shirt out there, or you're putting yourself out there, taking the shirt off your back and saying, here, take this, have this, and let me show you what the best way is. And that's what I would really focus on. It's been an incredible opt-in for us. Many times I used to do it back in the day where I would be like, well, here, if you opt in, I'll give you the secret. And then I always kind of felt awkward because it was like, now I'm going to teach them a little bit more, which this works. It just doesn't work as good as the free course thing. But then I'd be like, well, here's the secret. And then if you want the other bigger secret to make this secret work, then you got to purchase or say, I just don't like that. I started using the free course. It works amazing. So when they opt in, somewhere, sometime throughout this journey, these are the typical questions that somebody has to have answered in order for them to do business with somebody or in order for them to make a real decision. And I always think about these things in terms of the customer and also in terms of why we do something, right? So who are we and who is this best for? What do we do and what does the customer have to do? Where does the thing happen and where can they use it or where can they get it or whatever? Always think in terms of what they're thinking and what you would be doing on your end. Why I did this and why they would want it or why it would help them. How this thing works, how they're going to use it to make it work. Or you can adjust how they receive it or how they implement it. When do you get the outcome? When do we interact with you? When does the thing take place? When are the next steps? Demonstrate. Here's why we do it. Here's how we do it. Here's what we do with it. You're literally just demonstrating the solution, and you can also show them seeing how they're going to use the solution themselves. Frequently asked questions. What are they? You can go to Google right now in any part of your business. Let's go back to the simple example of like selling sand. What are the most frequently asked questions about buying sand? Okay. What are the most frequently asked questions about hauling sand or picking it up and dumping it? And I'm using such a, bland, generic style type example because so many people say, well, that won't work for my business. Yes, it will. Just go Google frequently asked questions about X part of your business. In my business, I help businesses get customers using the internet. It's real simple. Or in other words, I help people make money using the internet. Okay, if you have a solution for people out there in the world, I will show you how to use the internet to get more customers and sell more products and services. Period. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that I'm doing, I can take my process. It's 7 steps that I go through to get somebody customers on the internet. So here they're getting customers using the internet. Here they're not. I have 7 steps that I take people through, and I can take each one of these steps here, and I can say frequently asked questions about getting the messaging right. What are those? I can start talking about those in my emails, etc., etc., etc. This here is go find a topic on the internet in relation, so you could say any of, for instance, my process, taking somebody from here to here. I could take any one of those steps and I could go out on the internet and I could say, like, for instance, in step 2 here, putting together the funnel and, getting the offer prepared and things like that. I could go out and say, how do you put together an offer and offer it on the internet and make it convert? Well, I could do that. A video would come up on YouTube or a video or an article would come up on Google. I can go to that article or I can go to that video. I can find a point in the article or in the video or even in the comments of the article or the comments of the video. And then I can go either say I disagree with it or say I agree with it, and here's why. So you can, okay? And when I talk about urgency and scarcity, it could be urgency like you should start implementing this process right now before your competitors do. Or you might want to get started with this right now because we can only help so many people during a certain amount of time. Or we only have so many seats available because we like to provide quality outcomes for people. And in order for us to do that, we only work with this many people. There's so many ways that you can do this and be honest and real about it. So agree, disagree, or agree, and here's why, so you can. And then tour. You could give them a micro tour of the product. You could give them a macro tour of the facility, or both. Or you could do it you could give them a tour through the process of each step, okay? No matter what, if you just do your email, it doesn't matter which order you put this in, you can think about it logically and commonsensically with your team or yourself and say, which one of these would have the highest impact? So what we do is in 7 days here, we put out 10 emails. Here's day 1, email right away. So when they opt in for the free course, let's say, immediately they get an email taking them right back to the video or the course. Hey, you maybe didn't have time right away to go through it, whatever, go do that. 6 hours later, we ask, well, the automation asks, did they buy or did they schedule? If they didn't, then we send out another email, and it could be any one of these things. I didn't put these in any particular order. You can just use them. All I do know is people, before they buy something, they want to know who, what, where, why, how, when. They'd like to see how it works. They'd get some frequently asked questions answered. They'd like to know how you feel about this and what the points are against out there, like comparing, kind of like Apple and PC, they do this. They compare points and topics against each other so that you can contrast the two and say, oh, well, I want this, I don't want that, etc. And then a tour through the product. How many times have you seen in an Apple commercial, let's say, they do an expansion of the lenses together and they take you on tour through the phone and show you the chip. And they also show you how things are happening on the outside, a tour of somebody using the product or the service, etc. Think like that. It does not matter what order you put these in, but if you'll really start to think about what it is that you're selling, you'll find that some of these 10 here are going to have higher impact. And you'd like to put those towards the front because the sooner you can convert somebody, the better. So after day 1, if nobody, bought or anything like that, day 2 will happen. And these are 6 hours apart. 6 hours apart. Okay, so it's that same question in between. Did they schedule? Did they purchase? If not, send out the next email, sharing more, showing more value, etc. After these first 3 days, they've gotten, 2, 4, 6 emails, pop, 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 in 3 days. If they still haven't bought, so here it would wait a day now, ask that same question, bought, scheduled, send out another email, wait a day, bought, scheduled, if no, send out an email, and it keeps doing that. If we've heard for 1,000,000 times that it takes 7 to 10 exposures on average, why wouldn't we try to get those exposures extinguished or put through in the shortest amount of time possible? So in 7 days, we send out 10 emails. I love this because every week you're growing your customer base because you can get through all the things that need to happen for somebody to purchase, and you can do that in the shortest amount of time possible. And in many cases, it can happen faster because they'll see this here, they'll go snoop around your socials, your website, and they'll come back, they'll hit the next day. Maybe you got somebody on day 2, hour 6 later, right? So just think about this. If you have questions about any of this stuff, that's what the comments are for. If you like this video, then show that you like it by hitting the like button. And if you do that, it's gonna allow me to see that you want more content like this. So that makes sense. And then if you wanna subscribe, go ahead and do that. If not, whatever, but we're gonna have more videos like this coming out. And if you don't wanna miss those, you'd wanna subscribe and hit the notification. So depending on where you're seeing this, you might be able to even take action and set up a call or something like that. And we can go over a game plan and see how we can install this into your business. So hope you found a lot of value. I'll see you in the next video.